Bohn, joined now by Jorge Masvidal, a few weeks removed from his retirement, but bigger things coming up ahead. 1 week out from Gamebred Bareknuckle MMA going down, Sunrise, Florida, May 5th, headlined by Roy Nelson versus Dylan Kleckler. Jorge, man, I know you did the Gamebred boxing not long ago, and now we're doing the Bareknuckle. Just tell
Yes,
me, what
sir.
was the thought process behind this card?
Action. The thought process on every card is kind of the same. The gentleman that's working construction, the lady that's crunching numbers and taxes. Like at the end of the week, I just want to put something they could look forward to and like lose their train of thought for that 2 hour event, whatever it is. So would I watch this myself after I put the fights together? I go, would I watch this myself if I had some free time? And I go, hell yeah, because I got the card stacked from top to bottom, killers versus killers, violence on violence, and to top it off, I got Roy Big Country Nelson, 23 wins, 19 by finish, and 16 by KO type finish. So, I mean that speaks for itself. Versus Dylan Kleckler, 10-0 as an amateur, 10 knockouts, 11-1 as a pro, 10 knockouts. You know, the rest we already know. We got Adriano. I smoked too much. This is not live.
No, you're good. You got Anthony Njokuani. I mean, Charles
Yes,
Crazy Horse Bennett. Like, you
yes.
know, some of these names, if you've been following
Sean,
the game for a
Sean
while, you know.
Soriano. I've
Yep.
been watching Sean fight since his like amateur young days here in South Florida because he's from South Florida. He's gonna be fighting Avo Husick. That's gonna be a sick fight. That's gonna be a good stand up. They're gonna come to bang, no gloves. It's gonna be bloody. There's a lot of fights I'm looking forward to on this card.
Yeah, and I want to ask about Roy, I guess, in the main event. He hasn't fought in a few years. So, like, how did that come around? Did you reach out to him, like, personally? Did you hear that he was looking to do something and it just made sense? Like, how do you get a guy like that who has been out of the fighting game for a few years now?
Shout out to Icy Mike, put that together. We were looking for a main event to go against Dylan, and we had many different options. A lot of A-list heavyweights that are out there. We were able to contact, and we were close to finalizing deals to an extension, but it didn't happen. We were able to get a hold of Roy, and it was like, hey, I had a boxing match that was gonna happen. It's not happening no more, so I'm pretty much in shape. I'm gonna go to the gym, work out, see how I feel. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. So that's just what happened. He went to the gym, sparred, and said, hell yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. And we made the fight happen.
Love it. Yeah. Other names on this card: Emiliano Sordi, who did good
Oh
work
yeah,
in PFL, Donovan Beard, who fought Bo Nickel on the Contender
yeah.
Series. So lots of familiar names. But how do you decide, Jorge? Like, you know, we obviously did the Gamebred boxing before this, and now it's the bare knuckle. How do you decide which like sport or event you're gonna do next?
Say it again because you were breaking up, brother.
Oh, so I was just saying you did the boxing fight last time around. This one's the bare knuckle MMA. How do you decide what sport you want to do for the next card?
The next in about 2 weeks time we'll be doing a massive boxing card that I'll come back on here and we'll talk about. And we also signed some huge grapplers. Well, we haven't signed them yet. We're looking to finalize these signatures, and we'll have some very impressive grapplers coming on over to the bare knuckle. They heard that there's no gloves involved, so they know they can get the chokes easier. They can break legs easier, so they're coming on over. So we're gonna break the internet with that news. And how do we determine that? It just we let things kind of naturally fall in place, you know. Um, if two athletes, like for the boxing event, there's some athletes that have been hitting us up, and from there we've gathered what we currently have already, and we've been able to come up with some nice matches that were just very natural and organic without having to do nothing crazy, you know, very efficient. So that's kind of how we determine what sport is next, you know. So we're gonna do boxing next, and bare knuckle sometime in August, September. You know, but the
Okay.
boxing we're hoping July, August. We're gonna be setting the date right after this event. We'll be setting dates for Gamebred boxing. And I,
Nice.
and
And obviously,
I got a good card coming your way, man. The last one was pretty good, man. Roy Jones versus Anthony Pettis.
you set the bar high.
We got something better coming.
Wow. Well,
Believe
we
that.
saw those paydays come out for that card too, and I think everyone was like, "Damn!" Like once that kind of became a little bit public, did you see even more people reaching out, being like, "Get me on this"?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of people were reaching out before because the platform, when they seen that the platform was backed up by dollars, it took a greater momentum.
Yeah. How'd the pay-per-view do for that one? I'm sure you can't share a specific number, but were you guys happy with it on Fight Pass?
I'm always wanting more, so the investors ain't mad, but I always want more, man. And we're gonna get there. There's a lot of things we still got to work on as far as strategizing the marketing and just dialing in a couple things a little bit better, and we could go a lot further. So we're still in the infancy stages in
And
that
I'm sure it'll
aspect.
help. I'm sure it'll help with the next card. You don't have a fight on the same weekend. You can probably put your full attention
Oh yeah,
towards
oh yeah.
promoting as opposed to doing your own
Sure,
thing too.
yes, sure, yes, sir. But also that was like my last fight, too. So it was like I got to do something that nobody I think ever has gotten to do. So it's something that goes down in my memory book. I always love that whole experience and fuck, I feel like I bring a lot of different things as a promoter to the fight game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, it's been 3 weeks tomorrow since the last fight. How's it been? How's retirement life treating you so far? How's it feel?
I'm getting a lot of free bottles of wine, like a lot, caviar is amazing. Pickleball is fucking. I'm actually decent at pickleball. I didn't even know this. I just found out. I'm like pretty gifted in this area. My golf still sucks. Fucking trash there. Um, I don't know. Maybe fucking Pilates and hot yoga and shit.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, does it
You
feel weird?
you laughing, but I'm not because I'm all in there. Just like,
Hey, dude, this is good. I mean, I'd
what?
rather.
I look around and go, I'm the only dude in here.
I mean,
Go for it.
this sounds better than you sitting around having no idea what you're doing and like what's going to come the next day. It sounds like you have almost too much stuff to do.
I have to be like that, man. Because if I stay still, stagnant for too long, it could be bad news.
Yeah, definitely. Have you like watched that fight back and stuff, or do you not even like care about reviewing the performances and things like that you would maybe do if your career was still ongoing?
I'll tell you this much: if if I gave my fans in the city of Miami the ending they deserved, and I boom knocked this dude out with like 5 seconds ago, and he was just pronounced dead, I still would have retired. Because the majority of that wasn't in my favor, and I felt like a lot of the abilities and natural tools that God had gifted me have slowed down considerably from like 34 to like till now. It's only 4 years, but in this later stage of my life, it's costed me a lot. Like I feel it. I see it. I don't react. This connection here is like slightly like just a millisecond off, but that millisecond when you're talking about the world's best snipers coming at you, um, I feel it. So I'm still like fast and explosive myself. I still have great endurance. I could still, spar and go hard, but like that high end level, you know,
Mhm.
what do they call neurogenics, or I don't know what they calling it. But that thing, the transmitter, right? Slightly so low down. I've been doing this also since I'm 20 years old professionally. I mean, since I'm 18 years old professionally. That's 20 years. Um, Mixed with the fact that I started when I was young, 11, 12 years old as well, in some form of combat. It's I wish I could keep going, but that's why also I don't have to. I don't want to right now. I couldn't look at the video, the wounds too soon. I don't even care because I just know I did bad. I didn't even have to look at it. I just know I did bad. I felt it. I walked away feeling this wasn't my night. And that's it. I'm checked out.
How hard is it to come to terms with that? Because like it reminds me of we're seeing the NBA playoffs right now, and you see like LeBron James out there, right? And he's still like world class, obviously, and can do his thing. But there's like little things that maybe he can't guard this guy like he used to, or like
Yeah.
just something here and there. Is it like difficult to come to terms with yourself on that? Being like, man, it's maybe not just an off day. It's like just who I am now a little bit.
Definitely. I like I said, I started this when I was 20 years old, so it's like all I've known for. I mean, 18 years old. Keep saying 20 years that I've been doing it professionally. It's the same routine, the same wake up at the same time at times, and go to sleep at the same time, and this and that. So I'm gonna miss a lot of those things, but at the same time, I'm not. So I'm not tripping either, man. Like I said, I did it for a while, and it was the funnest fucking job I've ever had. It's my passion. It's something that I got to wake up every day looking forward to doing. Being in love with like the same thing, the same craft. Not a lot of people could say that, so I'm just very blessed that I even get to say that. And I thank God for that, right? Because I made it out with these bad boys right here. My faith in my God and faith in myself. So
you won the game, right? Like, obviously, maybe you didn't accomplish every single goal, but you have your health. You seem to have done well financially. Like, what more could you really ask for?
you said you've seen? What you
Well,
crazy, man? Where you live at? Hey, what's your address, man? I'm gonna go talk to you in person. You said
hey,
you
I don't
see?
count another man's pennies, but I would hope at least. You seem
Now I'm
like
doing
you're
all
like,
right, man. I can't complain. UFC took very, very good care of me, so I no complaints. You know.
that's great. Were you happy Gilbert apologized for the whole greasing thing? I know you were bothered by that right
I
after,
didn't.
but
Yeah, I was bothered, but at the same time, whatever. It's his opinion,
he seemed to be sincere in his apology, at least. He
Yeah,
said he
he
kind of
seemed to
screwed up
be
by saying
sincere.
that.
So I legitimately from man to man, I accept it and I take it. But I don't know why it even came up. I just like I'm a sweaty motherfucker, but damn, I never like no one's ever said that about me. But whatever, bro. It's cool, man. I wish Gilbert the best of luck going forward. I've always liked him, anyways. I see he's got a fight with Belal. I think it's gonna be a good fight for him. Tough. I think Belal has like in the cardio department more advantages in the grappling. I think, as in I think Gilbert has a little bit more different weapons with a little bit better power than maybe Belal. So I think it's going to be a very interesting, good fight. I could see either one of them winning. Actually, I think Belal's a little cleaner with the boxing. It's just going to be an interesting fight, man. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's a crazy turnaround for Gilbert, right? Like fighting 28 days later, 5 rounds. That's a
Yeah,
pretty wild move for him, but
yeah, yeah.
big time. I mean, a
I
lot of
love,
people
I
think
love
that the winner of
that.
this should get the title. Go
And
ahead.
that's what that I love that, and that's what fighters when I was coming up used to do, and then it kind of like faded out where fighters didn't want to fight no more, and like, oh, I don't want to put my prestigious 3-0 record in the UFC up. Like, this is the fight where like everybody's gonna fight everybody. You get down and dirty and nasty and get after it, and like he just had the biggest win of his career of ever, Gilbert, and here he is fighting Belal. He could have just sat out now to a title shot, and he's getting the title shot at some point, no doubt about that. But that's what shows that Gilbert is a fighter, and people should get behind him because that's what he's coming to do in his fight.
I mean, UFC did such a great gate in Miami, and like that was Dana was saying that's going to be one of their new spots and everything. Is this something that you're just like finally now you guys realize? I've been saying this for years, and now they're finally just waking up to it.
Yes and no. So this message goes to the UFC and from Miami. They gotta stack that card every year though. Like Miami's like it's a crazy. We got a million options every day from
Yeah.
Monday through the following Monday. There's like 10 things to do. So if like you don't come with the heat, Miami's like, So it's hard. It's not like this one-time event because I had. There's truly I'm from here, so it's different. You understand? You got to understand that it's different. I'm right from here,
Mm-hmm.
So they can come right back, but they have to they got to bring a monster of a card, They gotta bring the violence that my people need to see if they want to break those records.
Yeah, understandable for sure. How's the Mezcal brand going? I actually still have this from when we spoke in Vegas when you had your launch party when we did it in the hotel room. It's still signed and everything by you.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm reluctant to open it though because it feels like it's like
Nah,
a
drink that.
special
Drink
bottle. It's
that.
signed by you and everything. I don't want to like ruin it.
You drink it, you fill it up with some Sprite. Nobody can tell. Just drink that thing.
Yeah, is that I mean, how's like the business side of that going? Is it being something that like you has been trickier to navigate or not really?
Super tricky, but because of legal reasons, I can't talk about that too much either because
Okay.
I'm ongoing, yeah. But everything else, yeah, you can leave it on.
Yeah, nice. We also have this one. I don't know. Do you remember this? The bobblehead you
Oh
had?
yeah,
They
yeah,
sent
yeah.
me
Let's
this
go.
one.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for
Fuck
Christmas to
yeah.
come around so I can
Yeah,
like put it up on the tree. I just moved
yeah.
into a spot with my girl, so we'll get a
Nice.
Christmas tree for the first time this year.
Hell
It'll
yeah,
be right up
bro. Let's get it, man. Who else got an ornament, huh?
there. Exactly. One of the last things I wanted to ask you about, Jorge, is obviously they announced Nate Diaz and Jake Paul. I'm curious to know what you think of this boxing match, how that's going to go.
Um, I don't know. I think how many rounds is it?
I believe it's 8.
8. I don't know. It's just the time of it. Jake's obviously a lot younger than Nate. Nate in his prime, I think, smokes Jake. But Nate's been out of it for a while. Nate's, you know, I don't know what type of shape his lifestyle's like outside of a serious training camp, and he hasn't been in a training camp in a while. So I don't know. I think the odds are a lot on him. You know, Jake's been competing, and Jake's naturally a lot bigger. But all that being said, I just think Nate finds a way to tough guy it out and just beat up Jake and break him down. You know, I think Jake will run a lot. That's why I asked how many rounds. You know, maybe they'll make it even like 10 rounds. It might be more beneficial for Nate, though it'll be his first time boxing. I just think Nate ultimately will have the advantage in the cardio department. Um, very interesting fight, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I saw Nate tweeting, I think yesterday, he wants 12 rounds. So I think that aligns with what you're saying. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if they throw him into a 12-round fight in his debut.
Yeah, you know. But I could see it being 12 rounds being, more favorable for Nate, definitely.
Yeah. Did you see that video of Nate in like the whole street fight incident, choking out the Logan Paul lookalike and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I saw that, man.
That's wild. That's tough, right? I mean, like obviously people on the streets, you guys are fighters, like people try to put you in situations like that, right? Like how hard is it to try to not get caught up in something like that where craziness is happening around you, and because you are who you are, you don't want to get sucked into something like that.
Hey, Nate Diaz, by the way, if you see this, I got a top lawyer in the country that wants to represent you. His name is Brad Cohen. Have you people get in touch with him. He wants to take care of you. This dude's the man while we're on the subject. I just remember that he had told me that if I run into him, I'm like, obviously I don't talk to Nate Diaz, but you know what? My boy MMA Junkie gave him the message. Brad Cohen's a great dude. And what was the question again? What if that happens to me?
Yeah, or just like anyone, it's tough for the fighters, right? Like people
Oh,
with like,
definitely, definitely.
yeah,
That because what it looked like to me is that this dude ran up on Nate, right? And you got to respect every threat. And it looked like it was self-defense, but I don't know. I didn't see the whole video. I saw like one shitty angle, so I don't really even want to say too much. I just want to say like you can't run up on people. You can't violate people's personal space and think it's cool to get away with. That's why, as good as a ass-kicking machine as I am, I give everybody their personal space. I don't invade nobody, even if I have to like ask a question. Where's the train stop or something? I'll do it from a safe distance. You don't want to be invading space because you just don't know. So that's why Florida's the greatest state. We got this rule called stand your ground. You can't be doing that shit.
yeah. Did you see what happened with Joe Schilling the other day? He just got let off the hook because of that law. In a bar, some guy was like talking trash. There's the video about there, and he knocked him out, and now he just got let go on the stand your ground law.
Yeah, yeah, because that's all is truth. You can't be up in people's faces and shit. Treat everybody with respect, and the same will be given on back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing well and everything. Any last words you kind of want to share about this fight card? So it's airing on pay-per-view, right? This one isn't a Fight
No,
Pass collaboration.
no, YouTube, Ticketmaster. The tickets are live at Ticketmaster FLA Arena live, Cinco de Mayo. Dylan Kleckler versus Big Country Roy Nelson. The fights will be aired on my YouTube and Facebook page and on YouTube as well. So please tune in. And we're going to have more drops of the other places collaborating for where you can watch this fight, but you can definitely watch it on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll see you back here in a couple weeks for the next Gamebred boxing announcements, correct?
You ready for that?
I'm ready. I'm excited, man. If you're saying it's a level up from the last card, you put a high bar with that first one. So I'm excited to see what you guys figured out.
You wait and see, man.
All right. Awesome, man. Appreciate you, Jorge. We will talk soon and enjoy your weekend.
So, yes, sir.